into the heavens, and it returns to me, sending out our joy. I send my joy over the mountains. I send my joy over the sea. I send my joy into the heavens, and it returns to me. Let's send out our peace. I send my peace over the mountains. I send my peace over the sea. I send my peace into the heavens, and it returns. Let's send out our love. Last time, sing it out. I send my love. For Elizabeth. The secret of life is enjoying the passage of time. Any fool can do it. There ain't nothing to it. Nobody knows how we got to the top of the hill. But since we're on our way round, not down, you might as well enjoy the ride. The secret of love is in opening up your heart. It's okay to feel afraid, but don't let that stand in your way. Everyone knows that love is the only road. And since we're only here for a while, you might as well show some style. Give me a smile. Isn't it a lovely ride? We've been driving round, we've been going round. Try not to try too hard, it's just a lovely ride. Oh, the thing about time isn't really real. It's on your point of view. How does it feel for you? Einstein said we could never understand it all, and boy, wasn't he right, huh? Planets spinning through space, a smile upon your face. Welcome to the human race. Some kind of lovely ride. We've been sliding down, gliding round. You try not to try too hard, it's God. The secret of life is enjoying the passage of time. Sorry. That wasn't expected. I almost got there. I was this close. You have the slides, right? All right. So how have you been?
Oh, what a ride.
I just can't leave you alone for any amount of time, can I? No, Joe's not coming back, but thank you. Joe is very happy with his life. My husband and I, Trey, who's been the best in the entire world for 35 years now. We have been very fortunate. Our daughter flies for JetBlue, and we fly all over the world now. With his passes and her passes, we're never home more than 7 days, and we're not on the road. We just get on a plane and go. Half the time we don't know where we're going Monday. Are we going to London or Tampa? I'm not sure. We're packed for both. But so we love our life, and I want to appreciate or thank you to you for all that you've been doing here at the center. I know that you guys have had a little struggling time recently, and when you're on the other side of this, when we send our love over the mountains and when we begin to do our own spiritual work, this is a time to start rebuilding our center again. And I'm glad you're here today to do that. All right? So years ago, this was one of my quotes, "Nothing lasts forever, it's just for now." Have any of you raised kids? Oh, yeah. You think that nothing lasts forever, but they kind of do. But most things in life, they don't last forever. Things come and go. Money comes and goes. Marriages come and go. Relationships come and go. Your health sometimes comes and goes. Your happiness and your peace of mind sometimes leaves. But you can reestablish that again because nothing lasts forever. Everything is meant to be cyclical. And if you notice how your life is going in phases, in fact, I'm entering into a new phase next month. I'm changing boxes. You know when you do a survey and it says your age? I've been enjoying the 55 to 59 box. That ends in May. But also, I noticed that our life is really changing. And it's different. It's not what it was. And certainly, most of the times, it's not what we expected it to be. Usually, we look at each other and go, oh my God, it's even better. So everything comes to pass. Hurricanes come in, they leave. Snowstorms come in, they leave. The snow melts. Life goes on. Next slide, please. Dr. Holmes said this, "Lack and limitation are not things of themselves, but rather the way in which we demonstrate our freedom." Why? Because the same law that binds us to by our ignorance is the same law that sets us free. So we're never bound by a situation, ever. Situations, like I said, they come, they go. It's how we perceive them. It's how we give our energy to it. It's how we follow through with whatever we think is right. And that's what sets us free. Now, you can live in a state of bondage. You can live in a state of limitation if that's what you want to accept. I know some really, really wonderful people. When you talk to them, all you hear about are the struggles and strifes, and you never hear about the wonderful things in life. In fact, you have to pull it out of them. Well, is there anything good about your life? Is it all bad? And you've got to give me one thing. Just give me one thing. But there's a difference. You get to choose that. Because the law that says whatever you speak about comes about, right? If we know that, what I think about, I bring about. If that's really true, then I got to really be careful about what I've been thinking lately. Because the way the world is spinning around, it's exhausting. But I get to choose my response to it, and I get to use that law however I choose to use it. Now, what's challenging is when you're in a relationship, Because sometimes, Trey and I are complete opposites. It's hysterical. Sometimes I have chosen to not be very nice. I know you can't imagine that. You can't. I know it's unfathomable. Dr. Joe, a jerk? And he's like Mr. Calm, he's like the centerboard of a sailboat through life. He just kind of goes. He doesn't do too much, And he's always just, whatever needs to happen. But then every once in a while, he gets down a little bit. He gets down and depressed. And thank God that I'm not at those moments, because if we both were, we'd be a mess. So I would say to you and your spouses or your friends, do me a favor. Whenever I'm coming at you with negativity, at least bounce back and don't give me yours. Let's just take it one right at a time. Next slide, please. If you ask God to move a mountain, don't be surprised if you soon find yourself with a shovel in your hands. Many times we have to work for our miracles. Yeah. Right? Grab a shovel, folks. Grab a shovel in your own life, and here at the Life at the Center, it's time to dig in and make something wonderful happen. A lot of times we have to, look, I wish the universe would just deliver my good via Amazon. It'd be really nice, It's like, hey, put the order in and boom, there it is 3 days later. And yeah, I didn't have to do any work, but that's not how it works. We all know this. When you pray for something, you're praying for an opportunity or a situation or an occurrence for you to look at and see and experience in your life, and then you have to move your feet to make it happen. You got to grab the shovel. As much as I want to say it's true, nothing's free. You have to work for it. The things that you normally get that you eventually say are free eventually are taken away from you because you actually didn't do anything to earn them and deserve them, to create a consciousness to accept them. That's why people, when they win the lotto, you've seen these stories, people win the lotto, millions and millions of dollars. And you're thinking, oh my God, what I would do with that money. And then you read these stories where they spent it all. And you go, oh my God, how could you? That would never happen to me. You don't know that. You have to build the consciousness of money and prosperity in order to maintain and sustain that. You have to build a consciousness of health and balance and order in order for you to sustain that. Nothing happens on a dime. You have to work for it. And that means you open up to the universe of possibilities. You say, God, give it to me. I'm ready. Let's go. Let's have it. Next slide, please. Are we good?
Yes.
Don't be afraid to start over again. This time you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience.
Hell yeah.
I know a lot of people, when something ends, they're like, oh my God, I can't go on. I can't. And you're like, okay, I'll give you 5 minutes of that. Right? But look what you learned. Sometimes people come into our life to teach us what we want to be more of and what we want to be less of. Situations come into our life that we want to build on, and situations come into our life that we want to go, never again. Are you with me?
I'm with you.
Say amen.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, there we go. All right, next slide, please. People are climbing mountains and ziplining through life. Sometimes I feel like I'm doing great when I can get my leg through my underwear without falling down. Do I hear an amen? Yeah. It's true. I love it. All those, and I'm not making fun of anybody. I'm not judging. He says, I love those people that do like Pilates and yoga. They're like, they get down and they slowly do this. I'm like, okay, let's see if I can get that up. You know how you feel? All right, never mind. But so sometimes it's just a challenge to do that. All right, next thing. So I know people are going through a lot of pain in their lives. I know the center here is going through its own metamorphosis. And so I would say this. Number one, feel the pain and let it visit. It's okay to let it visit. Okay? Number two, allow yourself to learn any lessons that may come up and use it as a teaching experience. And the last one is don't allow it to overstay. One of the problems that you and I, all of us, I know, we all kind of get in this thing where we just stay too long in the pain. And it really doesn't help you move on. If all you're doing is thinking about what just happened and not thinking about the possibilities of what is about to happen, then you're living your life by driving in the rearview mirror. What did they say? The rearview mirror is this big and the window before you is this big. There's a reason. You're only supposed to look back this amount of time and you're supposed to look forward this amount of time. So now no looking back. How many of you have been in marriages or had health conditions? But boy, I tell you what, be careful. And I'm going to give you a little word of warning. So what people who've had these things happen in their life, these traumas, these things that have happened, sometimes we invite them back in. We think they're gone. Then we invite them back in because when we want to share a story with someone and we want to share our life experience with someone, we unearth all that stuff that happened. And what you need to understand is when we unearth all that stuff that happened, you just put new energy on it. Whether you like it or not, it may make for a good story, but is it worth the fallout of telling the story? Because a lot of times when you tell that story, you go back to those icky feelings that you had when those things happened. Is that making sense to you? So avoid letting it overstay by telling the story over and over and over and over again. Move on. Move it on. Next slide, please. You have the power to heal your life, and you need to know that. Louise Hay said this. We think so often that we are helpless, but we're not. We always have the power of our minds. Claim and consciously use your power. Too often, we give our power to someone else. Too often we give it away, and one of the phrases that people use to give their power away. Are you ready? What would you do? And then you sit there and go, wow, you just found out what they would do. That doesn't tell you what you should do. You don't always have to go to that place. Now, sometimes it's good to get advice, and I understand that, but if you're always seeking outside of yourself for an answer, then you need to turn it around and seek inside yourself to get the answer. That's when you do the meditation. That's when you do your mantra. That's when you do your prayer work. That's when you get a hold of a practitioner. That's when you set your own consciousness in action. Don't borrow someone else's life. It's really easy to do, isn't it? Isn't it? Oh, look at you. Isn't it? Yes. So get on with your own. Next, please. The significant problems in life can be solved, cannot. Repeat that. The significant problems in life cannot be solved at the level of thinking that created them. Okay? Classic Ernest Holmes. Classic science of mind. Because usually the level that created the outpicturing of an event right now is literally you brought it in at a time when your life was even different than it is today. You're not the same person that you were yesterday. Does that make sense? But you're going back to yesterday's solutions to create a today problem or issue without opening up to the idea that maybe, just maybe, there's something else. Because if you have an issue that you have going on in your world and you go back to what it used to be and you try to solve it at the level of the consciousness that created it, you're going to solve it, but then you're going to have the same issue in a little while later. You will have not changed the path. You would have just backtracked and taken the same path again. Now, sometimes I understand. Sometimes that may be beneficial. But if you want to expand and grow your life, it's not about contracting or shrinking into your experience of what's already known. It's about expanding into the unknown. You can never shrink yourself into your good. It violates that law of expansiveness. You can never contract yourself and become bigger. And that's what we're meant to do. We're meant to live a life for the universe in this big, huge way. And many of us run away from that responsibility because it's just too much. It's just too much. Well, I figured out I don't want to be around people who think that I'm too much because then I think they're too little. And I'm not being judgy. New energy, new ideas, expansiveness. Don't try to repeat what you just had. Know that you can grow into something even greater. Next slide, please. We gain strength, courage, and confidence by each experience in which we really stop to look fear in the face. We must do that which we think we cannot. I don't like that one for a myriad of reasons. Because sometimes, so let me tell you a story. You want a story?
Yes.
I gave my very first talk at my church in Fort Lauderdale last Sunday. I know, I've been there almost 3 years, and we've been under the radar there. We stay under the radar. We didn't meet any church people. I wanted to go in and go out, and I didn't want to read a book or do a talk or be an usher or be a greeter or be on the board. I mean, they asked me to do all these things, be a guest speaker, and I'm like, no, you don't get it. I want to be able to skip church and go to drag brunch without anyone getting mad at me. And I know there's controversy over drag queens, but bring them on. Could you turn the fans on for me, please? I'm still a sweater. What was I saying?
Drag queen.
No, not the drag queens. What was it? Oh, my first talk. Yeah, thank you. It's happening right in front of your eyes. Whew. So last week I did my first talk in Fort Lauderdale. And I sat there up there. They have a big thing like this, and I'm thinking, I can't stand up here and talk. That's so uncomfortable because I feel like I'm king of the world, like on Titanic or something. So anyway, I actually got down, but I said, I've been coming. My husband and I've been coming here for 3 years, and people are like, what? I said, yeah, we say third row over here. Every when we're here, people are like, we've never seen you, ever. And so I did this talk, and it was amazing. But I just kept thinking, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this because the universe, I just don't want to do it. I don't want to do talks anymore. And then I do a talk last week, and now I'm doing a talk this week. And, did a retreat. Now I'm going to have to do another retreat. It's like, but the universe is calling, and I keep trying to hang up on the universe. The universe is calling, and I tell Trey, tell it to shut up. No, I don't want to go do hospice work right now. I know I'm supposed to do the work of the Lord. I did it long enough. I mean, I need a break. But then next thing you know, I'm at a hospice place, right? Helping somebody walk through hospice or talking to someone on the phone. So the universe continues to call. And I've been trying to resist it as long as I can. So I decided, okay, we're going to dabble in it. Just dabble. So I'm here dabbling. You're getting a dabble of Joe today. Because I'm not, it's like ready, I'm ready. Well, no, don't start that. We had one minister retire when Dr. Tom, how many were here with Dr. Tom? I know, June, you were. When Dr. Tom retired, the first time, he had to come back for 18 months. That's not happening here. So let that go. Next slide, please. All right, we have a song, William? The song's not back there. Oh, William, that's my biggest part of my talk.
But we never got to what that song was.
Get on your feet, Gloria Estefan. Quick, go find it. This is it, William. This is my peak. You left me hanging at the peak. Oh, William, I love you. Some things have never changed. Get on your feet. A disco ball is 100 pieces of broken glass put together to make a magical ball of light. You're not broken, you're a disco ball. And as soon as William can cue this up, we're going to dance like we're in a disco ball. But think about it. Everybody in this room, if you haven't ever been broken, then I want you to rise without using any body muscles. I want you to just tell yourself to elevate up out of your seat and just kind of fly through the room, because the rest of us have had some crap hit the fan at times in our life. And when that happens, sometimes we feel really broken, but we're really not broken because we're part of a bigger picture. We're part of a disco ball. And you know me, I love to dance, right? Now, I know some of you don't love to dance, but I love to dance. And so the idea of this disco ball going around with all these different, what they appear to be broken pieces of glass, when we all come together, we make something wonderful and exciting happen. And we make people want to be around us and dance with us. Every time it's so funny when I'm down at Oscar's dancing on Sundays. It's so funny because usually straight people will walk past and they'll look at all these gay dudes dancing. And the wives are like, of course, the husbands are going, right? But there's something that happens. It's magical when you have that and you want to join in someone else's dance of celebration, no matter what it is. I know you guys are going through a challenging time here, but there's also going to be reasons to celebrate. So that brokenness comes together and makes a beautiful disco ball. And we were all going to dance right now, and it looks like it's not going to happen because I need to go to the offertory. But I just want to say, William, are we doing it? So my next trip, so I'll probably be back here the end of May, probably, all right? I've kind of half committed, not jumping in all the way. I definitely won't see you in the summer. Oh, I have too many, oh no, I can say never. On this one, we have trips planned all summer long. We're going literally going all over the world all summer. So I'll do one in May. I'll be back probably around Memorial Day, and then again when you cool down. So how's that? And then we do have to have a 50-year celebration. All right, ready? Crank it, William. Here we go. There's not broken pieces of glass. There's a disco light. We're going to dance for just a minute. Look around the room and just know that you're with other people who are feeling the same thing you are. There we go. Almost. There we go. Here we go. Long time. On your feet. All right, come on, clap with me. Get up. Make your life happen and make the life of the church happen. That's what this is about. All right. Woo, last time. All right, William, cut it. We got to go. He's not going to cut it. Now we're going to dance too long. Listen to the words. All right, here we go. Till tomorrow. All right, let's bring the band out. Make it happen. Get on your feet. All right. All right, William, cut it. All right, people. So ends your lesson. So starts the journey here, okay? Have a great Sunday. Thank you guys so much for having me back. I really love it. Sure. So I'm going to do this because I don't work here anymore. All right, so let's talk about some things we need to talk about. We all feel really good. The broken glasses, disco balls, we're all moving into our new existence, right? So it's not any surprise that some people have left the center recently, and financially that has an impact. Now, I know a lot of you have not been to the center in a really long time, and that's why I told the staff today, I said, put membership forms and giving forms on those chairs, because if you're back here, then you know the value of the work that is done here. And maybe things have changed, and now things have changed. But now it's time to reestablish our database again, our membership roster, and some giving habits of people that have left but are now back. So it may not be Dr. Joe all the time, but you've got William, or Reverend William, you've got Reverend Lori, you've got Reverend Dale, and you've got a lot of talented people who are totally committed to the ongoing work of this center. And if there's any time, now we need, I hate to say the word need, but now we need your support. The center needs your support. So I hope that you can find it in your heart to give generously today, and then to sign those forms and be a part of the legacy that will continue here. I don't want to see this legacy that's been here for 50 years die. It's changed too many lives, and obviously it changed yours, or you wouldn't be here. Okay? So, having said that, please take your love offering. What do you do with love offerings now? You have them hold it?
Yeah, we have a prayer that's coming up, but yeah, have them.
You want to
put it-
do that?
Yep, go for it. You want me to do it?
Yeah, you do
All
that.
right, all right.
I'm going to take a break
So
now.
we've got you take a break, take 5. So so if you could just bring your love offering to your heart. And, we're so grateful for whatever is on your heart to give today. Like Dr. Joe said, it is you guys that allow this place to grow and thrive. So we thank you for what you're giving today. And so we're going to say a prayer together before we go send these angels out to collect. Here we go. I offer this gift with love, joy, and gratitude. I receive freely and give freely, knowing the law of circulation is working perfectly in my life and the life of this center. And so let's go ahead together and say this prayer as this good goes out into the universe, to our center, and wherever it is needed to allow others to thrive. So say with me this. We bless this collective offering and receive it with gratitude, knowing it is spirit in action. As this currency flows through our center and beyond, it blesses many lives, including my own. Thank you. Did you want to say
I
something?
want to just give a follow-up announcement. One of the criteria for me coming here today was I implored the board and said I cannot come here until the issue with Dr. James is resolved. I would refuse to step foot on this property until that was done. And I can tell you that the board cannot discuss the details of it, but they wanted Grandpa to tell you that everything's okay now, that the forms, that the legal work is all sewn up. If you want to know the details of what they can say, it's on our church website here. If you go up on the top, drop down the menu, just click on Dr. James Mellon. You can read a joint resolution or joint statement. Thank you, a statement that has been put out. But I wanted you to know that I could not, in good conscience, come in here today without resolution on that. And so I want to thank Dr. Mellon, and I want to thank the attorneys, and I want to thank our board for allowing that to happen so that I could come back and join you today. So, yeah, thank you. Now what? Pray out?
Well, no, there's a couple other things, and Dr. Laura and I are stepping in to be interim.
Oh, yes,
You
yes,
probably
yes,
would be
yes. Oh,
good.
that's a big
Stand
deal.
up. Stand
So I want to introduce you, I guess, I wasn't there at the meeting, but because I'm not on the board, but it is my pleasure as Minister Emeritus to introduce you to your interim leadership, right, co-pastors, Dr. Reverend Laura and Dr. Dale, or Reverend Lansky.
And Reverend William is going to probably be our assistant as well, because it takes three of us.
And Elizabeth.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Elizabeth.
Dr. Elizabeth, yeah. we need to
Dr.
give her a
Elizabeth.
doctorate.
So we just have, yeah.
The board voted an interim, and there's what you do is you have an interim leadership, and then full-time leadership will take place. I'm strongly advising the board that you don't do anything for a few months. Let's steady the ship. Let's get the finances going right. Let's do everything you can do to make this right again, and right the ship and keep it going. And then you decide to move forward with who's going to lead the church itself. In the meantime, I am asking you, because I do want to come back, to please support them and give them your prayer support, give them your unconditional support, and become a member and give them financial support, whatever they need to grow this center, because it's not an easy task that they're faced with, but it can be done and will be done with great success, because the consciousness that created this new thing is a consciousness that's going to expand into the newest thing. So I'm asking you, as the Minister Emeritus, to please support these two on this journey, and along with Reverend William and Elizabeth, the staff, and this amazing band, which I'm so glad to have.